but they can't hold me down. They'll have to knock me plumb out. They cannot hold me down. They cannot put me down. I had a spiritual experience, and I felt the presence of God. This woman was destroying my home. She broke all my windows out, punched them out. She's covered in blood.
Oh my gosh.
And she was possessed, and I mean fully possessed. There's shit I can't even tell you on here. You know, that I know God has yanked me out of death's door, bro. And I'm warning the American people. And I love the American people. I don't want to see our Navy go down. I'm just telling you, this is a setup. This is a classic setup. And we're about to get cheap shotted. We're going to need food, guys. When this World War III breaks out, the power's going to get shut off. There's not going to be food, guys. You know, even vaccines, they've killed a lot of men our age. There's all these ways that they're reducing our population to weaken our army. And
what's up, everybody? Overdogs podcast back in his house. I think Buckley's going to be taking some time away to prepare for his very important matchup against Sean Brady. That's a big fight in the UFC welterweight division. So I understand him wanting to focus on his training and things like that. So, you know, got to get the big bag. In other news, John Jones has apparently been communicating on his participation in the White House card in the UFC. Everything's speculation still. We've received nothing unless Dana White has told us, and he's told us nothing but, oh, it's coming, or we got it done. They said they got it done, but they haven't announced anything. So we'll see about that. What else we got? We got some big fights coming. Yuri Prohaska fighting.
Wait, before we jump from the White House card, do you think? And we can ask our guests this too.
Sure. Who cares about what I wanted to say about Yuri Prohaska?
No, I'm stacking on what you brought up, the White House card.
Okay, but it's all hearsay with the White House card. Like I said, we haven't heard one.
Yeah, but do you think the conflict right now happening in Iran is gonna make that not doable? Do you think the chances increase? It just doesn't happen at all.
That's the point on everything being hearsay. It's like, with the war or whatever that's starting or what's happening, is it all business? What do we really even know? It's like, do we feel the effect of these powerful things that are happening around the world, or we just see them on news and social media, and this stuff is happening, and there's people out there in terrible positions, and it's all just a business move, or it's not because people's lives are on the line, and I might not see that, and then we might not get a UFC White House card, or we do, and then what? Mm-hmm. And everything in the U.S. just stays rolling along, or, I don't know. So, what I always think about what Matan said. He's like, all the conspiracies, I'm going to believe in them. And, a lot of that goes with, like, a lot of stuff. Like, if you just think about, the White House card, like, oh, yeah, it'll be cool. I can see myself watching the card at the crib and enjoying it. Or, it's just another card on another day. You know what I mean? And we get little entertainment spots throughout the week. And then the rest of the time, we got to handle business. We got to make sure our people are fed, taken care of, and we're on track to the next business move. And unless we're doing, in deep oil business, there's different sides of the oil business. There's the presidential side of the oil business, where it seems like war. And then there's the landman side of the oil business. We're out there, they're out there, digging holes, drilling. People are getting killed by these machine works. It's just all things
shout
in
out
life
for pointing that show out to me, dude.
Yeah, shout out to that.
You brought it up last week, and I've been hearing about it, and I finally gave it a try. I was like, dude, if Mike likes it, like, come on, I gotta give this a shot. Bro, Odessa is like where my family's from. My dad's from there. My brother worked out on those oil fields. So I'm watching the first episode. It's kind of slow. Dude, that's like my favorite show ever now. It's
first
a top
episode
5
was
for
not
me for sure.
slow.
I watched
there
all
was
2
people
seasons.
dying. First episode was crazy, I thought.
Yeah, but I was like, people don't die like that all the time on the oil fields. But I was like, it's a show. Let's see. But once it caught up and I got what was going, because I had no idea what to expect besides a show about oil. You know, it's fucking incredible show.
Yeah, but
so thanks for putting me
Billy
on
Bob Thornton, bro. Billy Bob.
Legend.
Billy Bob. I heard something about, I saw some news about something positive that came. It's not positive, nothing, but it was someone had a positive response to their mentioning in the files. I'll say that. I don't like to say his name. The files that everyone's talking about still.
Yeah.
Because they should. And the thing I'm talking about is Hermes was given, or like to a foundation that the owner of Hermes works with. Like they were given a large sum of money as a charitable donation, and Hermes sent the money back to that guy and said he don't want nothing to do with him. That guy would be
which one. There's so much.
Epstein.
Yeah.
Epstein sent money to the Hermes guy, and the Hermes guy said, "No, F you. Take your money back, bitch. I don't want it." I thought that was good news. Now,
Well,
in
sure
fight news, Jerry Prohaska fighting for the 205 lightweight world title because Alex Pereira is moving up to heavyweight. Wonder what's happening there. It's interesting.
I think it's gonna be John Jones and Alex Pereira. Like it's got to be.
House,
like people keep
like
saying, what were they saying the other day? Like first of all, Gon versus Pereira. Like everyone seems to think that's gonna be it. Why would you give Gon another shot? Like I know. I don't really see why people thought that's the clear thing. Besides the fact John said his hip's not doing well in like a private video, that could have been something he snuck in there, you know. And then the way Dana was so adamant about not being on the card, started to tell me he might be thinking about him being on the card. But Cyril Gane versus Alex Pereira is like a fun fight. But what do you want? Get Alex Pereira poked in the eye and out for 6 months too? Like, no, you want to. This is the opportunity to make John Jones versus Alex Pereira two like goats, essentially. New era versus old era goats. I think that's what they're going to shoot for. They're going to go for John Jones versus Alex Pereira at the White House, and then you don't tarnish Alex up at heavyweight, because if he loses to John Jones, he's not going to fight that much longer.
I don't think
Alex
it's a big deal. Pereira is worried about being tarnished in any way. He's just ready to just. Yeah. He's a beast, bro. Alex Pereira is down to work. He's down to fight, down to punch anybody, get punched. He eat that. Pereira's a dog, and you know Johnny Bones is the best ever. He plays the game, you know, and he's an amazing wrestler. So, you know, other than that, you know, there's other fights out there. Last time we talked about, you know, Strickland and Khamzat. If that could be happening, they've been tweeting back and forth. Maybe that's I don't think that'll be at the White House. It would be cool if it showed up though. And some people would be upset about Khamzat being at the White House, but what's Khamzat done? Just because their world leader is, you know. What do we know about him? I don't know about him. I don't read articles, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, ignorance is bliss. So I try not to.
It'd be the perfect fight to make right now, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I'm sure Khamzat's hungry because Armin said that Khamzat called him up like he was gonna get on a plane right then after they fought at the RAF wrestling. Armin, you know, kept getting slapped, so he gets a takedown, which Giorgio's trying to say is not a take. He wasn't taken down. Like, okay, I get the circle part.
Ref counted it.
They ran out of the circle, but like I thought you get a couple steps, and he was kind of on his way down right outside of the circle. So I thought that's a takedown. They gave him the points on the takedown. The commission and the refs
did
kind of rule that
moment.
Was
the thing. Like right when it happened, I watched it live. A lot of people didn't watch it live, but you're right. Like a bunch of hand fighting that looked a lot more like slaps than anything. That happens for sure. But that takedown, I don't remember if it was the ref that called it or like the judges, whoever does the points. But yeah, 100% they credit him with a takedown. And there you have it.
I got
I
respect
was
for wrestling.
tweeting, and I texted you guys. I was like, they're fucking. Go ahead.
Yeah. They were fighting. You were texting. Yeah. I was going to say, I got respect for wrestlers. I'm getting back on the mats, and I've found that I have these tricks up my sleeve that I used to have. I still have them. But I was, doing stuff with Terrence McKinney, T-Rex today. That man can wrestle. That man can grapple, dog. Shoot. When we start in positions, bottom side control, he would freaking keep me down. Or when I started on top, he got up. I'm like, I was having trouble wrestling him. But, I was saying about that RAF wrestling match, like, because Armin did it. In his position, he didn't have to. But he's like, no, I'll do it. And I seen someone even post about a rematch. Like, he's going to rematch him. And
they're going to rematch in a week in Brazil.
It was Armin who said
real. They're going to rematch in a week.
Well, that's crazy. There must be some money in it for Armin, man. Or he doesn't care about money. He's just competing. He's down to wrestle. I'm like, shoot, I want to punch. That's what I said on the post. I was like, I like to punch too much. I can't just wrestle. I'm not with that. Like, my grappling is different when I can hit you in the face. It's true.
So the fact that you're working wrestling with Terrence McKinney today, you said in the last podcast might be some MMA-related fight news coming up for you, potentially.
Yeah, I hope so. I think it would be fun. I hope so. I think it would be fun. It would be great to get that opportunity and get back full. And otherwise, just working with these guys, they're top UFC fighters, and there's highs and lows of this game, and just getting to work with these guys who are so dedicated to the craft of being better and working so hard to benefit their families. Getting to work with like T-Rex and Lyoto Machida and Philly Fresh, and there's a lot of wrestler guys. JP's coming up, Bubba Sheffield. These are guys at local Central Florida MMA who are well known, and keeps me strong doing my old MMA techniques. It would be nice to get an offer which we've been working on and I've heard about. I think it would be exciting for me to elbow somebody in the face again. That would be cool. So, yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
I posted on Twitter that video you knocking out Ellenberger, and it went off. That's one of my favorite KOs by you for sure.
I had some good ones, man. I mean, all right, man. Let's go, man. Our guest is here. Let's bring him in. We got Bryce Mitchell for you today. Come to have it out with your boy. What's up, Bryce? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself, brother? Oh, thank you so much for having me on the show.
I'm doing good, thanks. We were just talking about, UFC White House, and saying that John Jones is talking with them about competing at that card. We know that you possibly have an option to maybe be looked at as someone to compete on that card. Is there someone you would like to face at the White House?
I think anybody would be nice. I mean, there are a couple of opponents that I do have in mind. But you know what? I'm going to let y'all use your imagination, because I really do think that any opponent you put me there with, the American people will be satisfied. I will win. And remember, I'm not there to fight on behalf of the politicians. I'm there to fight on behalf of the country that I love, because we're being fucked by these politicians. But I love this country, and I feel like the only way I can fight to help this country with what it's going on right now is to actually provide entertainment and talk about things like we're doing right now, so it would give me a platform to entertain people and spread positivity. I'd love to do that
Oh, you're going to stay at 135, right? I would assume.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think
fantastic. Yeah.
Well, thank you, man. I felt a lot better. I think that I probably should have never been a 45er, to be honest. But I did all right at 45. I think I'm the best at 35.
That kind of switched my tracks a little bit. Talking about the weight classes there, do you think the size, between 135 and 145? And what I'm getting at is that you beat a Said Nurmagomedov with very qualified Dagestani wrestling base. Was there tricks that you do American style wrestling, or let us in on was it size, or was it just things that of how you were able to take over against such a great wrestling background?
Well, thank you, Mike. And that was one of the hardest fights of my life, even though it didn't look like, because we were kind of fighting in slow motion there in the third round, it really doesn't look as hard as it is. And I would say what won me that fight was kind of like the torque at which I operate. I call it a granny low, a low first gear. I can crawl through the mud like a four-wheel drive with lock differential. I can operate in these shit conditions, and if I can drag people into these mud fights where their feet don't work, their hands don't work, and they're not as fast as they were in the beginning of the fight, I generally do better. And that's kind of what I did there. And once I got into that low torque and actually got my hands around him and felt my hands around his rib cage and felt what he had to offer in defense, I felt every round he was deteriorating, and that's what I think actually made me win. And you got to think too, he knocked me the hell out in the first round. I actually came to in the first round and remembered that I was fighting again. I actually forgot where I forgot where I was and everything. Like, I woke up and the fight was still going. And that in part was because my coaches told me, they said, this guy in particular, they said, don't fuck around with him, go straight at him. They said, and if you watch that fight back, if you ever get bored or whatever, what you'll notice about that fight from now on out that I'm bringing up is I didn't take a step backwards the whole fight. I did not fucking move backwards. I'm not kidding you. Go watch that fight. I'm fucking
having
moved
trouble
forwards.
Remembering that you had any trouble in that fight. I thought you looked incredible in that fight up against that Dagestani wrestling. I thought your grappling tricks and the moves that you do, I saw videos of you teaching some kind of unorthodox jiu-jitsu techniques to some high-level competitors. And I don't remember you really struggling in that fight. I thought you did a great job.
I'm glad you just brought that up. Jiu-jitsu. I used a combination of wrestling with my jiu-jitsu, my ability to take the back and threaten back control and seamlessly transition from back to top control, from mount to side mount. That's what makes me a threat to any of these guys on the ground. And Mike, these guys really cannot hold me down. They cannot fucking do it. They're not capable of it. They could knock me plumb fucking stupid, and I could wake up and not know where I'm at in the middle of the Abu Dhabi desert. But they can't hold me down. They'll have to knock me plumb out. They cannot hold me down. They cannot put me down. They have to knock me out to win, because my grappling, I do really think, is that much better. And I was hurt in the first round, but not like physically. Like, I just not like a bunch of pain. Like, I just forgot what was going on. I didn't even know what hit me, bro. I just remember waking up kind of, and the guy was on top of me. And from that moment, I did recover well, but he about put me out.
Oh, wow, man. That's wild. There's so much we don't see, and you can see a different aspect of it being the fighter that we all watched on TV and in that matchup. And, just your muscle memory took over. You trained so much. You were in such good shape, and those things just kind of went into a flow state for you.
Absolutely. I believe the cardio is the basis of that flow state there, Mike, because if you don't ever have the cardio to support that, the relaxation of your muscles, and what actually saved me, looking back, well, of course it was God. Like, obviously, I would have just gone to sleep if God wanted me out. But when I woke back up, the first thing I remember, you know how when you wake up from a nap and you're like real calm, tired, and you want to stretch and yawn, like that, like that's how I felt. Like, I felt real calm, like I wasn't in a fight. And from there on, I was not tense at all the rest of the fight. I was totally calm, and it kind of actually changed the way I was fighting, made me fight better.
Nice. That's a tough battle,
Yeah, because he's got the ground defense, and a lot of these guys don't actually have the ground defense that he has. He has a very great ground defense. He's a very great striker. I think that the Said Nurmagomedov is underrated, actually, and I think that I'll match up real well with a higher ranked opponent. I'm hoping that they do that, but I'm also not picky. I've literally never turned down an opponent. Anybody that they've always asked, I've always said yes. I've had to pull out one time because my back hurt, but other than that, I literally fight whoever they tell me to, and I'm happy to do that.
I think that happens sometimes. I mean, you're pretty bad mamma jamma, dude. You go in them fights, and you throw down, and when you grab a hold of people, we really get to see some Bryce Mitchell techniques. I think that's cool. Another very powerful thing that you do, I can appreciate that you always bring the Bible with you. What is that? What does that do for you? What message are you saying with that?
Well, I started preaching the word of God when I fight because I gave my life to Christ probably about 5 years ago. The exact fight was right before the Edson Barbosa fight. I had a spiritual experience and I felt the presence of God, and nothing other than the presence of God explains what I felt. It wasn't a hallucination. I know what I felt, and from that moment on, I wanted other people to. I was in a fight, all right. I was in a fight with a woman. She was just really crazy. Yeah, and she was possessed, and fully possessed. And I said, in the name of Jesus, I command you to leave. And she left right then. Oh, wow. And that was my experience with coming to Jesus Christ. As I said, in the name of Jesus, this woman was destroying my home. She was like, she broke all my windows out, punched them out. She was covered in blood. She was saying that, basically, she was saying she was saying she was going to frame me for attempting to murder her. So.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah. And so then I didn't, so I couldn't call the law because she was threatening to call the law. She said, I'm going to call the law and tell them you fucking stabbed me. And because at this point she's covered in blood because she's punched a window out, so they're going to show up to my house.
And get you. Yeah, almost no matter
what. You don't
what.
have cameras at your house? I don't have
cameras.
You got to get some cameras, man. Easy cameras.
Yep.
Just for yourself.
I probably should have had some. It would have solved it. You're
right.
This recent? It would have solved that issue right then. This is 5 years ago. This was about 6 months before the Edson Barbosa fight. And so she was telling me basically she's gonna report me to the authorities. And at this point, I already knew I was fucked. And so there was not much I could do. So I just waited. And then she began speaking in tongues, which is basically not English. It's a bunch of gibberish. I don't know if you've ever heard of tongues or not, but it's basically like she's not speaking English. She's gibbering. It's like she's not speaking English.
Sometimes. Was she drunk?
Yeah. No, she was fully coherent up to a certain point, and then her eyes went. Basically, she was staring at the wall and gibbering. It was a nonsensical language.
It's horrible.
That's what makes it even scarier. If you're not fucked up on something, if you're completely sober and you're doing some shit like that, speaking in tongues, right. Christ.
So when she started speaking in tongues, that's when I said shortly after that, I actually felt the presence of a demon. And I said, in the name of Jesus Christ, I command any evil to leave. She immediately stopped and immediately left. And this was after an hour-long argument. So you're telling me that for an hour, I'm telling her to get out of my house, leave. None of that shit's working. She's tearing the house down. And I said one time, in the name of Jesus, I command any evil to leave. And she walks out the door after that.
Oh.
And so, and listen what I could. Hallelujah. So Jesus saved me from that moment. So I knew that speaking the name of Jesus could actually deliver evil out of your life. And so what was crazy about that is I said, in the name of Jesus, I command any evil to leave this home. She identified herself as evil and then left accordingly. So I didn't command her to leave. I said anything evil. And that demon that was in her said, I'm evil. I identify myself as evil and left. It literally changed everything about my life. And then from then on, I started preaching to other people that you can call on the name of Jesus, but you have to believe it. And I never believed it until I had that experience, basically.
Well, so I always thought you were probably always religious or raised religious. What made you, so were you? And then what made you say that if you weren't already, you ran out of options and you went, you know what, I'm going to try this? And then you saw what happened and you said, oh, this shit's fucking real?
I ran out of options. I had literally no other options because she had already said she was going to call the law. So I knew that the cops are going to be there. I'm going to get arrested. They're going to say that I tried to kill her. You know, I'm going to be the bad guy. I already knew that was going to happen. So I said, fuck, I'm done. Whatever. My own sin got me into this hole. Whatever, you know. But then I thought, when I felt the presence of that demon, that's when I said, no, wait a minute. This is evil. This is a demon. And I felt it. And it actually made me want to throw up. Kind of like, you know, when you get sick in the car. Like that, I kind of felt like I was going to throw up because I saw the demon for what it was. I finally snapped out of the trance and saw that this is a demon that I'm talking to. I'm not talking to a physical person. That person's gone. They probably don't even remember what's going on. I'm talking to a demon. And that made me sick, and I felt it. And then I called on the Holy Spirit, and I felt like adrenaline hit my whole body. I felt every hair on my whole body stand up. Just, you know, that feeling where the hair stand up on your body? Every hair stood up. I felt invincible. I said, in the name of Jesus, I command you to leave. The reason I knew to call on Jesus is because once I felt the demon, I knew that there was a God. I mean, instantaneously, because my Mimi, my papa, and my mom had always raised me up to try to be Christian. But the problem with me being a Christian was that they put me in the public schooling institution. In the public schooling institution, and you got to remember, I had great grades. I had best grades in my class. I mean, seriously, my grades are phenomenal. I mean, yeah, they were unquestionable up till I got about 17 or 18. But I mean, I was highest percentage of my graduating class easily, you know.
I can't say that, brother.
But what I'm saying is I trusted the schooling system for a long period of my life. Me trusting the schooling system, what do they teach in school? They teach that you come from monkeys.
Yes.
You don't have a soul. The earth is 10 billion years old. And that you're nothing. They don't teach it. And so all of that stuff was taught to me in school, and because I thought I had good grades, I was so smart. Little did I know that me having these good grades, that was obedient to an evil system that was feeding me lies. I learned that out later in life, you know, and that's why I homeschool my kid now. That's why I preach the word of God, because I lived a long life of sin. God saved me. I should be in prison. You know, I should be dead. There's a lot of shit, dude. There's shit I can't even tell you on here. You know, that I know God has yanked me out of death's door, bro. Yanked me out. I should be dead. Yeah, if they caught all my felonies on camera or whatever, I'm locked up. I'm toast, bro. I'm put me in a pen and throw away the key. But God has spared me over and over and over again, and I feel like I have a purpose, and it is to serve Him.
It's not as deep, but like. I just thought of this when you were saying that, is that I recently saw something about how, you know, we say nowadays, oh, we ate McDonald's when we were younger, or we did this when we were younger, so it's okay every now and then for our child now. And then it shows ingredients of McDonald's sandwiches back in, 2000 compared to the ingredients in 2025, 2026. It's just, there has been changes in the control of, systemic, ideology of our government and our people and how things are running, and who, is Bill Gates. They're saying all types of stuff, man, so it's like we don't know what to trust, and all you can do is have faith, but you still have to try to do the right things. And I just wanted to say that, just because, see, if anybody can leave comments on, what they think, because I remember eating McDonald's and it was good, but now apparently 3 years in, it doesn't go bad. A freaking cheeseburger, you know? I know,
right. And that's
topic.
just, well, the thing is you're talking about such a broad range of things that we all feel, we all sense. It's hard to communicate the level of deception in our society. It's hard to actually verbalize it. We're being so fucked. I mean, everything from our food to our health care to what our kids are taught in school. It's awful. It's awful. And
See, that scares me as a parent. That scares me to hear, you know. I got to keep an eye on everything, obviously, that my kids are learning. They're not in real school yet, right? Or one of them is in VPK. I don't know what the difference is when they're going to daycare, preschool, and then it becomes school. You know, it's all just a learning environment. And I don't know what they're learning. How to be good people.
I think that would be the most valuable thing out of the schooling system is the social skills, you know. To me, that's what makes a school possibly worth it, but it's also not at the expense of your kid not believing in God. So as long as you are sending your kid into that school with that full anointment of the Holy Spirit, telling them that this system is going to lie to them, then I think it can work and your kid can survive it. But if you don't tell your kid,
bliss, though. Ignorance is bliss, though. I don't want to tell them. You're right, though. I do give them little warnings. Hey, you know, you can't always trust everybody. Some people might not have the best plans for you. But then, you know, you got to let them figure some things out. And then I trust some of their teachers, you know, to help give them that. I like where this conversation went. That's something really important to me that I struggle with all the time. But
I think you'd make a great homeschooling parent, Mike. And I think you'd run a great farm. I think you'd run a great farm and a great homeschooling program. And I think your kids would be very knowledgeable, be able to fight.
Only because my wife would be in charge and she would do everything in the script that she would order from the best online place. You know, she would read it and these kids would have structure and be organized. Eventually. That's great.
Yeah, that's exactly what my wife does. She adds a lot of structure to the educational program. You know, Tucker's only 2. I show him a lot of the working out stuff. I show him how to punch and kick. She shows him a lot of like how to play with toys and stuff like that. And yeah, you're right,
How
man.
old is he now?
We all have a gift. He's almost 2. He's turning 2 in a couple weeks.
Good times, man.
And we're trying to make him a brother, and we're trying to have as many kids as possible.
Oh my gosh, 2 is a lot of work. 2 is a lot
Absolutely.
of work. Yeah.
You know, I think that the way that society ran for a long, long time is like if you homeschool your kid, raise them the right, and doesn't necessarily have to be homeschool, but if you raise your kid the right way, and particularly if you have a farm, at a very young age, the kid starts paying back dividends. And I don't mean to have kids for financial reasons. Like I'm just gonna work I'm not saying I want to force my kid into slave labor, but what I am saying is that a hardworking young man, which is what he's going to be, is going to add tremendous value to this farm, and he's going to be happy to do all the work, knowing that as soon as I'm dead, he gets to inherit all of it. All the work is for him or his grandchildren, you know, and the farm stays in the family. It gets passed down. That's how you build the family. And it's really cool to do all that. I encourage y'all, man, start the farms up. We're gonna need food, guys. When this World War III breaks out, the power's gonna get shut off. There's not gonna be food, guys. It's gonna be crazy.
I'm gonna be like an arc raider out there. I'm telling you. Hey, don't shoot.
I think it's brother. I really do think that we're approaching that type of chaos.
Can I say something one more time? I'm sorry, Mac. One time, I was a really bad kid, and I was talking with a prosecutor, not a prosecuting officer, not a prosecuting attorney. You don't know if he had both legal degrees. I don't know. But he was an officer. He was very tough. crazy guy, and he wasn't crazy. He was spot on, and I was a crazy kid. And, you know, we were in the interrogation room, and he acted like he turned his recording device over. He stopped recording, and he flipped it face down. I don't think he stopped. I think he just covered up the light. And then I asked him, after everything, I'm like, hey, do you believe in the end of the world? And he was like, no. I gotta go fucking work tomorrow. I gotta save some more people. I got shit I gotta do. I always remembered that, you know. He kind of maybe changed some trajectory for me. I stopped thinking like an idiot. Well, sometimes I still do.
Right. How old were you then, Mike? How old do you think you were
18
then?
or 19. That was like 13.
Wow.
How many years ago? 12 or 13 years ago.
Yep. And you was already asking that 13 years ago, and now look how much closer it's got. And what's interesting about what's going on, though, right now, this is what the point I got to make, is that it is literally proven the Bible correct. Like, I've been reading Revelation more and more in depth, and the more I'm going through Revelation, you know, they call it the scripture because it is a script. That Bible tells you exactly what's going to happen. It is a script, and it cannot be denied. It cannot be falsified. It cannot be one thing that Bible says is going to happen. Can't. So even the evil powers that be, they're reading the scripture. They're going by what the scripture says. So when you look at these prophecies, bro, the wording that was used to write the King James Bible in the 1600s, the same words are being used by this administration. They're pushing, for example, the Battle of Armageddon. Where is the only place that word is used in the Bible, in Revelation? It's called the Battle of Armageddon, and you can go read it. I believe it's Revelation 16:17, I believe it is. But our administration is calling this the Battle of Armageddon. Where did they get that word? Revelation. Okay, they're trying to push a digital currency, and then they want you to take a mark. Where? On your palm, your right palm. Revelation 13, every man will be marked, right palm or forehead. I mean, dude, it's going how the book said it would go. That's what strengthens my faith, and that's what I want to tell these non-believers, especially in the last day. You can't deny the book of Revelation is saying what they said would. The book of Revelation, John said there's going to be a one-world government. If you don't take its mark, they're going to come kill you. We see the powers converging, just like you talked about the food industry. It's the same with healthcare, travel, like at the airport, the automobile industry, the train locomotive industry. All these industries are converging into one power, and then they're going to give one person power over all this shit, bro. And that's the Antichrist. That's when the shit goes down. And yeah, I do think that the war's going to escalate. I think it'll take a couple more years, though. And I think that they're going to push the digital currency. The digital currency, that's a death blow.
I don't know.
Like, I'm like you, Bryce. I don't know if you said you were raised Christian, but I was raised Christian as fuck. And when going to public school, you know, they teach you all that stuff. Yeah. I did really well in school. I tested really high until later on. But
same here.
You know, that made me the first one out of my family to go. I was the first one in my extended family to break away from Christianity, be like, no, this doesn't make sense. The shit I learned in school. So as I've gotten older, more wisdom, I've seen more things happen. I'm starting to grow closer to it now, and I'm completely open to it. And I'm like, you know what? I turn my back on this shit. But I find it very interesting, and I'm not saying I'm a Joe Rogan or fucking quantum physicist, but there's a lot of high level scientists that completely against God until they discover these things way later, and then they say the only thing that fucking makes sense is a divine creator. Joe Rogan has started to go. He's the last person I thought would become, you know, religious. So it seems like something's happening in the world right now where people that were always kind of pushing it away are embracing it now at a record pace.
Well, they're gonna have to, because nobody's buying the shit no more that there's not good and evil. Revelations, that means to reveal. So God named the last book of the Bible to reveal. Evil is being revealed. Good is being revealed. This is the final show. It will truly be revealed. You have to pick a side. You can't sit on the fence anymore and say there's not a God. You can't do it. He's coming back. He's coming back. You're going to have to acknowledge he is real. You're going to see him in the face. You're going to talk to him. He's going to judge you. It's real. And people are seeing that, and they know that that's actually the only hope. If there is a divine creator, because if not, you're just going to die and rot in the ground. What, and then why are we even doing all this shit? Why, for temporary pleasure? We'll go seek your pleasure. It's done in what?
For my innocent babies to be protected by me and to enjoy the beautiful things in life, like love and delicious treats, things like that.
Absolutely,
places, beautiful views.
Right. But you believe in God, Mike. We've talked about this before.
I do, absolutely.
Right. And so what I'm saying is, like, if you don't believe in God, like, then at that point you don't have hope, because then you're going to perish. You don't believe in a soul, so when this body dies, you're dead. What I'm telling you is that's a lie. You have a soul. You have intrinsic value beyond this flesh. Like, you're never going to die. God created you with a purpose. You will not die. You will go somewhere after this life. And that brings value to this life, that somebody who doesn't believe that, they can't ever get that value out of this life, because they're focused on temporary pleasures. Whereas a man who knows that he's going to live again, they're focused on the next life, actually building up that relationship with the God that they're going to serve in the next life. You know what I mean? And like you said, I'm still grateful for every single thing in this life. I'm grateful for every day on this life. But I have hope, because I believe in God, that as soon as I die, it's actually the beginning of something even better, and I'll be reunited with my family eventually.
Amen.
Why do you think Christianity is the one religion that, at least in America, is totally fine to just talk shit about all the time? Seems like the only one that's not protected.
Well, because it's the truth, and the more broke down a society gets, the more they worship lies. And so you're going to see dudes acting like girls, girls acting like dudes, just completely bizarre shit. And then you're going to see the actual basis of truth, which is the Bible. It's a calendar. It's a historical document. It's a testimony of thousands of people over thousands of years. You're going to see that book actually questioned. And books like Cat in the Fucking Hat are going to take its place. It's nonsense. It's utter nonsense. The Bible is the most historically accurate document ever. Every word of it's true. And they're going to tell you the exact opposite in the school system. and it's getting exposed. And I'm glad, because everybody is seeing the lies being exposed. And that's what's great about this revelation.
I'm curious, going back to the demons real quick. So you recognized one, you had this, like, moment of just, you called upon Jesus. Mm-hmm. Do you think you've ever encountered demons before? Like in the cage or in your life? Like, have you ever been around demons before? Did it make you think, holy shit, I've been around that before? Or now you recognize things? You know what I mean?
I felt it one other time, and I did the same thing, and it worked. So I've actually been in 2 arguments with people and just casting them out in the name of Jesus. And other than that, I think some guys were probably disturbed or possessed or whatever that I was dealing with, for sure, but I didn't have to deal with them. There were 2 situations I actually couldn't get the people to leave me alone. And didn't want it to get violent at all. I have no desire for that in my heart, and God knows it. I said, God, in the name of Jesus, I command this evil to leave. And they literally stopped what they were saying and turned around and walked away. And that's when I knew, like, this is no joke. Like this, a demon can't even be around the name Jesus. If you just say the name Jesus, they'll run out the door. They cannot stay around the name. His name is that powerful.
Love that.
His name. Imagine somebody's name so powerful. Who else's name can be spoken and people run out the door? It's Jesus only. When you speak his name, your enemies will run out the door. I've seen it twice.
That's beautiful, though. I mean, why not? Just sprinkle a little Jesus in the house every day, just for good sunshine rays.
And Jesus has really turned my life around. That's the most important thing, is that when you start worshiping Jesus, like I said, I only started about 5 years ago, but in that 5 years, if you would look at the progress that I've made as far as like fruits that I'm yielding, I've produced a son in that time. I've really built up my farm. Even my professional sports career, I've been protected. Like, I haven't been hurt at all. So like he's protected my health. He's built my family. He's protected my farm, and I stumble all the time. I think a man's biggest weakness is sexual impurity. I mean, I think that's without even a close number two, you know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't even be looking at other women besides our own wives. We shouldn't be thinking about stuff like that. And when we even look at another woman, we got to say, hey, God, I'm sorry. Take my eyes off that. Take my heart off that, and let me focus on my wife. And, you know, that's just one way God changed me. Yeah, you're right, brother. You're right. Let's be real. It's hard to do, but a man of God, that's what he wants to do. He wants to please his wife. He wants to please God. And, yeah, we're not perfect, bro, but when I genuinely don't let myself look at other women. Not like before I came to Christ. Do you see what I'm saying? Before I came to Christ, I didn't have any remorse for thinking anything about a woman that wasn't mine. Now I know, hey, no, I got one woman. That's the only woman I want to think about. If I have another thought, I repent and move on. And that's changed everything. Like, look how much prosperous I am now. I'm not fighting with the demon. I have a nice wife, have a nice kid. I'm really happy for the way Jesus affected me, because you got to live it, and you got to stop doing things you were doing before. And like I said, the reason I brought that up is because I think the hardest thing a man struggles with, sexual impurity. I'll just flat out say it.
100%. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you went viral for talking about like how to quit gooning recently. Yeah, so like you must hit the nail on the head on something here.
I think I know what you mean by that.
I missed him going viral on that one, talking about.
Yeah, you were talking about porn and everything, yeah.
It's true, man. It's not good for a man.
Nope, I agree. Destroys a lot more lives than it helps. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. This shit is evil, man.
Just ignore it.
Yeah,
just
man.
Ignore it.
I'm really glad we got to talk about this revelation, because I've been reading it. And, brother, let me tell you real quick, too. What's bad about the revelation, what I've discovered, is most likely, and don't be mad at me if I say this stuff, guys, because I don't want this to happen. I'm telling you what I think was going to happen, okay? I think that our aircraft carriers and our Navy is going to get demolished. I think that we've been sold out. I think that our leaders are actually, like, plotting against us. You ever felt like some shit's about to go down? Like something's like, hey, I don't trust one of these dudes that I'm in the room with. That's how I feel with my government every day. And
like, you think our military is gonna, like, someone in there is gonna allow some shit to get through, maybe some ballistic missiles to hit, like the USS Abraham Lincoln? I mean, because that's gonna trigger. If one of our carriers gets sank,
they sold 2 of our buildings. No, they sold more than 2 of our buildings.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And so this is what I'm trying to say, Mac.
Our carriers are almost like untouchable. So if they get to it, I get where you're getting at.
We're supposed to have the strongest military force.
Not untouchable, but they're damn close.
They're not untouchable, bro. Like, all it would take is one missile in the right spot. We're against people that have actually more money than we have. Like, we produce a lot of food, but you just don't understand how much oil they have and how much wealth, that true wealth they have. We have paper dollars here.
I think one thing about Trump is he may seem very vicious at times, and there may be some things that come out about him that we just cannot get behind or agree with. And it's got to be a very hard position to run the most powerful country in the world and do business with all these other countries. And he gets behind closed doors. I think he makes business moves happen that make the country stronger. It's just something I hope. We want our country to be strong because America's freedom. We want the world to have freedom, but we also have to put reins on freedom, because you can't just let everyone out of prison or bad things will happen, right?
Absolutely. And, but what makes this unique what Donald Trump has done that no other president has done, brothers. He started a war without going to Congress. I mean, this is really unheard of, Mike, in American history, I promise. And the more that this war gets drug on, I think you're going to see the effects of things that I start to say come true. And so you're going to see the body count of American soldiers. These are 18 to 25-year-old men that don't have a fucking clue what Israel is or anything over there in that area, and they're going to die. And a lot of them, 3 of them minimum, have already died. Americans. These are like, imagine if us 3 were dead right now. Well, there's already 3 of us Americans dead. It was just in the last 2 days, and there's going to be hundreds and hundreds more die because of this war that Congress didn't vote on. And this is the scariest part, as I believe that they are deliberately going to attack our aircraft carriers. I think that they're our biggest global threat. I'm sorry, the biggest global threat that the United States brings to the military table. You know, as far as like what the other countries are afraid of, that we bring, that we have, they don't, is our aircraft carriers.
Our subs and our carriers.
Right now, yeah, our subs too. And our carriers are over there in enemy territory. And I'm telling you, those people have money. They have nice missiles. That's what when I was talking about Iran having a well-based economy off of oil, I was saying all of that about Iran's economy to tell you that they have nice missiles, nice bombs, and it will take one of them to blow up the Ford, one of them to blow up the Lincoln. They could have direct multiple hits in 2 seconds. They're sitting ducks is what I'm telling y'all, and I'm worried about our Army. I'm worried about our Navy. And I believe that this relates to what we were saying, because in the book of Revelation 18, chapter 18 talks about Babylon the Great falling. Now, when you read that chapter 18, you'll see Babylon is described as a naval powerhouse. So if we all agree that we're living in the book of Revelation and these prophecies are unfolding, then who do you think Babylon is? America. And so Revelation 18 talks about America falling. We're going to be besieged. We're going to be destroyed because of these power-hungry
leaders.
Yeah.
But then didn't the leaders get taken over by new unseen leaders? And don't they say that entertainment and entertainers are just a distraction? So when we're out there fighting and people are watching, and we love the people who watch us because we want to be known for being strong men who protect our families, we're just a distraction?
Well, I think a lot of times that the sports is used as a distraction. And by doing stuff like this, we're actually breaking that mold, though. You understand? Because we're not talking one thing about fighting right now. We're talking about revelation. We're talking about God. We're talking about political powers.
This was going to be one of my questions for you. Why? Like, what do you think about people that say leave politics out of sports? So it sounds like you're about to go into it, but
well, the sports is governed by what? Politics. So every fucking sporting event I go to, there's a fucking government agency telling me what I can and can't wear, say, do, act, chew bubble gum, and fucking talk. But I can't go home and talk about their jobs and their positions of power. No, that's bullshit. They take my money, and I'm going to tell you what I think about them. And actually what I think is exactly right. I have a very, very good breakdown on what these leaders have done. They've started a war that we cannot win because of numbers. Because of numbers. We're fighting real armies that have more people than we do. They have more wealth. A GDP is a gross domestic product. It's how much money worth of materials moves through your countries. These countries have 10 times our GDP combined. Russia, China, Iran, they have real wealth. They have real oil. They have food. They can feed themselves. We can't kill them all. There's too many of them. They outnumber us over 100 to 1. We're going to get raped over there in those waters if we don't get out. And I'm warning the American people. And I love the American people. I don't want to see our Navy go down. I'm just telling you, this is a setup. This is a classic setup, and we're about to get cheap shotted.
I never really been to Dubai. I've been to the Dubai airport. I've never been over there, but, the Dubai airport. I've been to Jordan. Met a lot of great people in Jordan and had a lot of great experiences on that side of the planet, But I guess you never really know.
Both of those countries got hit by missiles.
Yep.
But both of those countries, Mike.
Well, I don't know about Jordan, but definitely, yeah.
I believe Jordan too. Jordan and Jerusalem both got hit with missiles. But it also could be an AI video I'm seeing. But if the videos I'm seeing are correct, Jordan and the other country Mike mentioned, both
UAE,
of them.
Qatar, Kuwait,
Dubai,
Lebanon, Dubai, yeah.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, and these are peaceful places. These are peaceful places that have like really good economies. They're just going to fully shift to militarization. You know.
Well, one of them said today they're going to run out of interceptor missiles real quick, so they're going to have to rely on the United States to protect them, which they're now our allies. So
yeah,
it's going to become
and in the
a much bigger
meantime, we'll
regional
just watch
crisis.
crazy videos on the internet. That's what we do, right? We go work out.
What else can we do? What else can we do to stop this besides what we're doing right now? We're talking about it. We're informing everybody watching. This is not a good war. I'm telling you, you don't want to go over there and die in the desert. You don't be prepared. You don't want to die in the sand over there. It's a death trap what they're starting over there. And
oh my gosh, it
knows,
really is.
Who knows how
sad.
fast this shit's going to accelerate? I think the first thing that the first implication we might suffer from is higher gas prices, which is minuscule compared to like loss of human life. But I do think that we're about to see higher gas prices, and gas affects everything because that's how we transport goods. So once gas goes up in price, a lot of stuff.
America's got a shitload of oil.
You're absolutely right, Mike. And
our infrastructure is not there to pump it all yet. Like we catch up.
That's
like we pumping the hell out of like Alaska.
We don't have the infrastructure. That's bullshit,
bro. But they were built to pump oil like that in the fucking 90s. Look at Desert Storm. Like here in Texas, bro. Like we pump. I think we produce. I don't know how much we produce, but we just don't have the same infrastructure yet.
You're absolutely right.
Are they lying to y'all?
Mike,
that's just everything they say is a lie. We got so much. We ain't the most powerful country for no reason. And the only way anything happens to our military is an inside attack.
Yep.
It's what they say. They brought it up. There's sleeper cells in all these states. Me and my wife asked ChatGPT.
That's absolutely true.
There's sleepers everywhere, bro.
Bryce has beef with ChatGPT, but me and my wife was asking Chat, what is a sleeper cell? It's a person who's been living in this city or state for a long period of time, and they've been waiting to attack. A terrorist attack.
Yeah, a lot of sleepers. Absolutely.
Plan. I didn't know that. And what's your beef with Chat?
Well, I mean, that's essentially what they're saying the Austin shooter would have been.
Yeah.
The shooting over the weekend. That would be one.
Sleeper. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was sad.
Yeah, they're picking us off like crazy because imagine this, bro. Like 20 people died at that bar in Austin. 3 to 10 to 20 more Americans died over in Iran. All of a sudden, it's like hundreds of American men our age are dying. And then the hundreds will turn to thousands. Even vaccines, they've killed a lot of men our age. There's all these ways that they're reducing our population to weaken our army. And they're going to try to exterminate us, dude. That is the goal, is to finish off America. They're going to cheap shot our military and try to kill us all. I mean, seriously, that's how bad it's going to get. And then I sound
you don't
crazy.
Think Trump's involved, or do you think he's maybe falling for a trap?
I think he's blackmailed, to be honest. I think these files are true. I think they got him doing something, and I don't know what. I don't even got to speculate because these files are so nasty. I think they got him doing something nasty. And so since they got him doing something nasty, they said, hey, we're going to tell the world, or you're going to push the button. You're going to fire the missiles. So he said, okay, I'm going to fire the missiles. And then he already knew as soon as he fired the missiles, everything's done. And let me tell you, Mike, why we're fucked. Because like over half of our oil comes from that area. And so when half of our oil comes, more than half of our oil comes
we pay them billions of dollars to have Air Force bases over there. We are partners with Iran. We're partners with the Middle East, especially now.
No, not with Iran. We have never been partners with Iran.
But the business moves Trump's making behind closed doors. the business moves Trump's making behind closed doors. There was, I mean, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, obviously big boxing, big fighting countries and places.
The Arabia is another place they hit, but an American base there.
Well, but I will say this: there is a chance that we have our own oil reserves and that the cost of our fuel is unaffected. I really hope that that's the case. But the price of oil could go up.
They said the hackers
no
was
way
going to give us free housing and no more debt. Our credit was going to go up.
This is what I started thinking here recently, is that the government actually is going to start providing more and more free stuff to get people to take the mark of the beast. Like, our government might just start saying, hey, because one group of property owners basically owns all the homes in America. It's called BlackRock. The CEO is named Larry Fink. But anyways, Larry Fink could literally just say, hey, he's got so much money, he could just say, hey, I'm going to give all y'all free rent. All I want is y'all to take this mark. That's all you got to do. You don't ever pay for your home again. Take this mark.
Digital ID.
Digital ID. And I think that they're actually going to use free shit like free rent, free this, free that to get people to take the mark of the beast. That very well could happen.
They did that with the, do you like burgers and French fries? You mean to tell me if I get the COVID vaccine, I can get burgers and French fries for free? Oh shit! Never forget that shit,
It's
bro.
the equivalent. Yeah, it's the equivalent that's going to be done with the mark of the beast. Here, sell your soul for this fucking cheeseburger.
Oh my god. No, but free rent though, that's crazy. If it's too good to be true, don't do it.
No, exactly.
Free rent,
Exactly.
free
See, it
rent
ain't
my
free.
ass.
Ain't nothing free.
Free. Nothing free.
Nothing free. You're
Believe
going to pay
that.
something and they're going to take your soul,
I
man.
believe that.
That's what's coming, and I don't know how long we have till all of this happens, but I do believe it's going to be in our lifetime. Until then, we can just watch fights and chill at the farm and, hang out. But at some point, there's not going to be no more chilling at the farm and hanging out and watching fights. This shit's going to be done, bro.
That's wild, man.
I'm supposed to move back into Albuquerque, dude. Like, I'm from New Mexico. I live outside Albuquerque. I live like on a ranch with horses, and we got some stuff, and I'm struggling with that, man. My biggest thing about moving back into the city is what you're talking about. Like, if society collapses or some shit gets super serious, I don't want to be right next to everybody, bro. I got my guns out here. I got plenty of room, gated off property.
That's perfect.
I don't know. It's one of the fucking things I'm really stressed about leaving here.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I hate leaving the farm. I've got the food, the water, the guns. That's it. I feel safe here.
Yeah, on top of that, I have a well, so
Right.
we just pump our own water, all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, water's number one. You got to have some good drinking water. And I'm actually looking forward to going back to that kind of like old peasant lifestyle where you just kind of chill. You don't have to worry about like busying around town all day. You just wake up and stay at the farm. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would have no idea how to like if I go camp, I mean, it's been a while since I've gone camping, but like I'm pretty comfortable.
You're a glamper, for sure.
I'm sleeping on the floor of my tent, and like, I might get wet from the rain because I'm on the floor, or I'm not eating that much. I'm like fasting, or I might find some snacks and berries, but then I'm gonna worry about, I gotta take care of the kids and the wife. I gotta find them something to eat. We'd all maybe become survivors. I don't know. That would be hard. I don't want to think like that. I'm bougie nowadays. I like to go buy steak and caviar and fucking have a cocktail or so,
Oh, I love some steak, brother. That's actually why I started the farm, is because I figured that I'm going to not be able to afford steak. And so my obsession with steak is why I got cows, because I want to be able to eat steak for the rest of my life, whether there be apocalypse, a famine, or anything like that. Yeah. And so far,
How many you got?
20 head. Whew.
I've been thinking because I might have an upper weight class that I might be trying to do, and I've tried to put on weight before by just eating whatever, you know, and I've been thinking about you are what you eat. So I don't want to be cheesecake. I want to be, you know, I want to be a big plate of charcuterie or some steak and like jalapenos, and I want to be something that some little bitch ass motherfucker ain't gonna be able to just eat up unless you're used to eating that type of good stuff. You know, you got to become the steak and not the cheesecake.
Exactly. Hey, you know what the number one thing they say is, like, pound for pound?
What?
Raw liver, beef liver.
I'm not fucking with that. The Liver King dude is a...
Oh, dude, come on, man, come on.
No way,
yeah,
dude. I was on that shit for a while.
Like
I'm not eating the fucking raw shit. I eat sashimi. That's like fucking good.
Of predatory animals.
Sashimi's good.
The leader of like predatory animals, when they get a kill, they go for the liver. Like the pack leader gets the liver.
They go for the liver.
Know because it has the most nutrients. I'm not even sure exactly what it is, but this happens.
I would give the Liver King hands. And I could
but he wasn't on liver, bro. He was on some other shit.
Drumsticks and a McDonald's cheeseburger and give him the hands. He can eat all the liver he wants. Hey, let's switch it up a little bit, man. I love how deep our conversation got. I hope the fans really enjoyed that. I like that segment where it went. Bryce, you say some real shit, man. You get behind some stuff that it takes a strong person to stand up for and speak out on. You do speak out on things sometimes, and I want to switch because we have some watch and reacts. Let's get a little more eased side of Bryce Mitchell. Let's do some watch and react. We're going to watch some funny videos, and, you know, these are the type of people who probably watch us for entertainment on the weekend when we're fighting. What we got? We got the RAF wrestling match. Okay, speed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the last second there. Pushes him over, punch to the face, knee.
He was waiting for that at the end so he could hit him. He wanted to win the match and then.
Who was the security guy taking it to Armand though? I think it was a bare knuckle guy. They got some bare knuckle people. The commentator Cyrus Thies. I call him Cypress Hill.
So he finished the match like you said. I just noticed that. So he waited till right after the match to punch him.
Dude, I was watching the thing and I was like, bro, this is gonna be a brawl. Like, they're both pissed. They kept having to stop the fucking match. Before the third round or whatever you call it, they were sitting there and he wanted to get his finger taped up. I just knew it. And then right when I saw it, I was like, Armand was waiting to be like, okay, got the dub. Now I'm gonna fuck this up. He wanted the actual win and then put in that shit at the end.
Right. I actually was wondering, like, why did he pick that moment to hit him? Because it wasn't a best shot. Like, he could have got a better hit. You're right. He was waiting for the timer to go off, and then he hit him as quick as possible. That's what I was thinking, because that, like, he wanted to hit him as hard as he could. So why did he wait to that kind of angle? He could have got a better shot. That makes sense, though. Still, I think he should have got a better shot. I mean, but I didn't see the full match. All I saw was them, dude. They were smacking the shit out of each other. I really think they just need to fight because they're just hitting each other, and it's like it's not fair. They're basically power slapping each other.
Yeah, that's what
Giorgio don't want that fight. Giorgio lost the wrestling match, and we all know him from holding up that $1,000 "Take Me Down" sign. You know, he's fighting with everything he's got to say that he didn't get taken down or he didn't lose the match. You know, he definitely don't want to fight
still in a week.
I think Armin's a smart guy, man. I want to see the rematch. Apparently, it's happening. Would you wrestle RAF?
Oh, that's
Bryce?
even better.
Yeah,
absolutely. I wish they'd ask. I'd love to do that.
RAF hit up Bryce Mitchell, man. I'd like to see those moves.
Oh, they will now. 100%.
I want to go against Cejudo.
Let's go. Yeah.
Ooh, that's right.
We got Dagestani basketball.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Watch this shit.
Funkmaster did really good at RAF. Oh,
I don't get why they gotta take the
Wrestle
shirt
ball?
off. Is that a requirement?
it's wrestle ball.
Imagine you did this to LeBron, bro. Be a felony.
Why? If you can just be suplexed, why are you keeping your back to people?
Right.
You just
right. I
get
wouldn't worry
suplexed
about the ball going in
anytime?
the hoop. Yeah, it don't make sense.
The shirt. Why the shirt though?
You gotta take
Why
off
don't you
your
just keep
shirt.
the shirt off?
Yeah, go up behind the
It's
guy.
shirts versus skins out here, bro.
And you gotta suplex him. Those are the rules. There's 3 rules. You gotta go behind the guy when he's not looking. You gotta take your shirt off and you gotta suplex him. If you do that, you win.
One of my teammates, Philly Fresh, UFC fighter, was actually, I saw some posts on his page that he was getting signed to a team of wrestle ball, I think here in Orlando. I think we're getting some wrestle ball here in Orlando. I haven't gotten the invite. I'd kind of want to play. Let me do a tryout.
Yeah, I want to be invited.
Bare knuckle basketball is coming up next.
Yeah, I want to go to the tryouts.
Bare knuckle basketball. Let's go. Let me try out. Me and Bryce want to try out, man.
Some of these motherfuckers won't even survive the tryouts, dude, let alone the first game, the first season.
Oh, man.
That'd be awesome, man.
What we got
All right,
next
this is a
here? We
great
got-
one. This one's going viral on Twitter. Okay, this is a fight.
Oh, I
you'll
saw
see.
us post it. I thought
Lights out. Wins. He has no idea how he won.
I guess the bell went off.
How
And he-
did he
No,
win?
it was
He
a
don't
legal
win.
kick.
The other guy won,
They called it a
bro.
legal kick.
Look,
'cause
his
knee's
hands
down.
weren't on the ground. His
I
hands
know,
weren't
it's
on
in
the
Russia, I
ground.
think, or Poland.
That was legal.
I
But
tell
that's what
you,
they're arguing about in the comments.
I really do think that ought to be legal in UFC. I think if you brought stuff like that back, I mean,
Go super slow. Go super slow.
the argument
here.
is that you'll break somebody's neck doing that, though. I mean, you'd really see some neck injuries when you allow kicks like that.
That's down. That's a downed opponent.
Oh, yeah, he's down
No,
for
his
sure.
hands are not. No. One
Somebody's
knee is
knee.
not down.
His
In the
knee.
UFC, that's legal. One knee
It
is
might
not
be now,
down.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, when it hits
That is
it for UFC, it might be legal because you can have one knee down now.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah.
Yeah. What's
Holy shit.
What's funny is it's supposed to be like what I was always taught is it's only a foul if when you threw the shot it was intentionally a foul. Like if you hit somebody in the back of the head, but when you threw the punch, they turned. It's not your
Yeah.
fault if they turn, you know.
Yeah.
But
Or
I
if
mean,
you kick them in the head and your foot wraps around and hits them in the back of the head and they get knocked out, we see that all the time.
yeah, it happens
That's
all the
not your fault.
time. Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. This was intended to be illegal though.
This was, yeah, he couldn't hold back. He just went
Based
for that
off
soccer kick.
intentions, he is actually guilty.
I miss I miss some of the Pride days, man, when we saw the soccer kicks in fights.
I think that
That's cool
soccer
stuff.
kicks would change a lot of fights. I think the number one thing that would change fights is the knees from side mount on top and the knees from the guillotine, like the front headlock position. Like, say somebody just shot on you, you sprawled them out. If you could knee them right then, you'd see a lot of change in the sport, man.
That was always a
you really
really
would.
good thing about Pride when people were shooting those takedowns and get that sprawl position. You knee them on top of the head. That's a dangerous
right here in the-
position.
yeah.
Wrestlers wouldn't want to get caught in that position. It's
Yeah,
weird.
you know,
like, why
you can
does
mess
that
that
stuff
up
happen?
too. Well, you
Why
know
does-
what's
why
bad
does
too
that
is if
stuff-
you
Sorry, Bryce. Sorry about that.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if you go to knee somebody in the head and you miss, and you hit your thigh on their head, you'll actually hurt your own thigh really, really bad with the knee. You gotta hit the kneecap.
Yeah.
Like if you try to knee somebody in the head and you miss, you're gonna hurt your own leg.
Yeah.
But yeah. But
Do you think like would Khamzat, Khabib, Islam, like the real wrestle heavy dudes? Do you think that would change? How many of them do you think would be champion if knees, like you just described, to a grounded opponent were legal? We saw this happen in one with Demetrius Johnson. He got cleared out with a knee in that similar situation.
Yeah.
Came back and flying kneed the dude to hell. But
DJ's a GOAT.
It would make it. It would favor the guy who gets top position more often. You know, you're allowing more strikes, a more dangerous strike for the guy on top. So whoever's in top more would have an option to throw a harder, more dangerous strike. I think it would favor the wrestlers. I tell you, the biggest thing that favor the wrestlers almost certainly would be take away the rounds. If you just if you just told a wrestler, hey. Because most of the time, like if there's 2 minutes left in a fight, I might not shoot because, well, you know, or if there's 1 minute left, I might not shoot. Even if I know I can get the guy down, because I don't care. There's only a minute left. I need 3 or 4 minutes to actually kill these people. You know what I mean? Like break their will. I can't do it in a minute. It's not, you know what I mean? You need several minutes. And so say if a wrestler could do things like knee from that position, or there was no rounds, it would actually help the wrestler. Now, I'm not saying that it would make the fights better. People, especially if they don't like wrestling, might not like that. I'm happy with the sport the way it is, but I'm just saying, if you wanted to favor the wrestlers, you'd take away the rounds. You'd see a big difference.
I mean, UFC is a machine the way that it's been structured, but they still make little adjustments and little changes. Who knows if those things can make a comeback. And to Mac's question, I don't know if anyone has even come close to stuffing a Khamzat takedown, so I don't think it would matter for him.
I don't remember about him, but I know Islam shot like kind of lazy
people
ones.
Worse if he could hold them with his arms and just knee them in the face at the same time on the ground. I think Khamzat would be
not worry.
Problem.
Yeah, and not worry at all about being DQ'd. You know what I'm saying? If you could grab somebody's head and not worry about being DQ'd, just knee them as hard as you can, that would add a level of violence to a wrestler's arsenal.
So, and like essentially you're saying where this rule could be brought in, like if you sprawl a takedown, you can knee to the head. You would think it would help the people that don't wrestle, but it actually help the guys that are wrestling, because then they're just going to fucking implement that.
Right. Yeah. Right, on a front headlock position, they're usually the ones on top. But if they get sprawled out now, they have to get kneed too. They have to deal with it. You know what I mean? I tell you what. Mentioning that Khamzat, I tell you, this came to my mind. Gilbert Burns did real well with him on the ground. He did take Burns down, but it was that jiu-jitsu knowledge that Burns kept getting back up to his feet, and he had a brawling chance with that Khamzat. Actually hit him real damn good. I think Khamzat won the fight. It was a close decision, but anyways, the jiu-jitsu of Gilbert Burns allowed him to brawl on the feet with Khamzat, whereas nobody else could brawl with Khamzat because they always get took down.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Gilbert is I believe now he's a 3rd degree black belt in jiu-jitsu. His jiu-jitsu is, the force is strong with that one for sure.
Hey, here's another thing that would help out, because I just started thinking about Burns in particular. All these jiu-jitsu fights, they end up standing in people's guard a lot of the time. If you could stomp on people's stomach, if you just stomp on their stomach, not even their face, if I could just stomp somebody's chest, stomp somebody's groin, stomp, not their nuts, but like up on their hips, you know, like their torso, but your knee has to be straight. You can't actually stomp and like get a good.
It's got to be like an axe kick, right?
It has to be an axe kick. That'd be like punching with your arm just stiff as a board. Like you need to bend to get the power, you know, on a hook. And that's what that kick is. It's a giant hook going down. You need an axe kick don't do shit. Like, I could literally stomp somebody's gut. Like, this is what I'm telling you. If you would see me street fight somebody, I would take them down like I'm doing a UFC fight. I'd stand up on top of them, and I'd stomp their fucking guts in. I'd stomp them till their fucking ribs broke. I'd turn their liver into chopped fucking liver with the bottom of my boot. I'd stomp on their face.
Video. Bryce Mitchell outside of MMA techniques for street survival. Yeah, there we go. I like that one.
It starts with a good pair of boots. A good pair of boots.
Yeah.
But, you know, the stomp is such an effective fucking technique, and they've took it out of the sport, and it does make me mad to stomp. Dude, I would stomp the piss out of some of these people. And actually, it probably should be illegal because I'd stomp some of these people. I'd stomp a new hole in their ass.
You could stomp
if it was
their
legal. I would
kneecap.
stand over these.
Yeah, the only
I've
stomp you can do is
liked
like an
that.
oblique. It's
I've
kind of
always
like
liked that technique, whether it's a side kick to the or an inside rear leg like stomp kick, like Johnny Bones. Johnny Bones was kind of the innovator of that, I believe.
He was.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the first person that I noticed doing it that did it effectively, that just did it over and over again. Yeah, and when Jones is coming out, you knew he was going to do that kick, and then you wanted to see, hey, how's this person going to react when they get their leg stomped? And nobody ever did good once they got that knee buckled.
No, they didn't.
That's interesting though. Like a stomp to the body would be, how the fuck you even block that? And it's so quick. You know,
Well,
you just, if you're standing up and you got their leg, they're in guard, you can sneak that in super easy.
If you covered up, like imagine you're standing up over somebody's guard, they cover up their body, and then you go to their face and you stomp the bottom of your heel right to their teeth are going to get knocked out, bro. Like, and they go to cover their body because you just stomp their body like 3 or 4 times. So they cover their body, and then boom, they get stomped in the face or the nose. It would change the whole fights. I would have a lot more finishes if I could stomp people. Like when you're out in the farm, you can't get your pocket knife out or whatever. If something comes at you out on the farm, you walk around in your boots, you fucking stomp it to death. Whether it be a fucking small animal or a medium-sized animal, if you just have your hands and you can't choke the thing like a rooster, I didn't want to choke it, I didn't want to grab it, I fucking stomped his head in. I mean, it's a primal #1 move. No training. I don't have to be skilled to do it. Anybody can do it. It's an effective method. And get somebody on their back and stomp the shit out of them. It's the oldest technique in the book, and the UFC took it out.
Motherfuckers.
It's the only technique that everybody knows. You don't have to. Nobody has to be taught how to stomp. Everybody knows how to stomp, and now the commission says we can't stomp.
Bring back face stomps at the White House card. Bring them back.
The stomp. At least the rib stomps. At least. Yeah, we want to see some rib stomps. At least to the rib. You know, at least to the rib.
Tenderize that bridge.
Tenderize them up a little bit, man.
You can up kick from your back. You can up kick somebody's face
That's
from
what
your
I'm saying.
back.
They can hit your face. They can hit your face. Yeah. How come they can kick up, but I can't kick down? That's what always makes me mad, because I like to get on top of people, and then they kick me up, but I can't stomp them down. And that has always, over the years, I'll be honest, it's made me mad. I've never spoke out about it till now. Now's the perfect time.
Would change if I'm trying to pass your guard and I got your fucking feet right here, and I can just kind of reach around and throw my foot in there. I can kick your face. I think ground and pound changes a lot. That would be fun. I'd like to practice that.
I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly what I was thinking. Why pass the guard? Why would I pass the guard if I can step on your face?
Yeah.
I want to stay in your guard. Oh, you're going to leg lock me now. Good luck.
John Jones told me the secret
Let me grab
to
another
MMA.
beer and let's do some fight picks if you guys are down.
Yeah, we will. John Jones told me the secret to MMA was ground and pound. He knows how to do it better than anybody. He gets vicious positions, brains, punches, and elbows, has great ground control, but I could only imagine the Pride days, man. And they used to fight more than one time in one night. Crazy. Sometimes you get out of a fight
More
and
of
you're
a
just
spectacle.
you can barely walk or move your upper body. You grapple for 15 minutes with someone who knew what they were doing. You're like, oh shit. And then imagine you had to fight again. Luckily,
and you're fighting Tank Abbott, who his fight was only 10 seconds, and you had a 15-minute war with fucking Don Fry, and now you got to fight Tank Abbott, and he's fresh.
Yeah. Who did that? Who was that?
Imagine that shit.
Who was that?
Well, I was just making that scenario up, but
that scenario kind of happened, right? Or is that like Royce Gracie was? He had a long ass fight with somebody, and then he goes back in and he has another long ass fight with somebody, and he wins. That was like UFC 1. Or when Royce Gracie won, he had a couple fights in one night, and he leaves the arena. He's in his gi, and he's like being carried out of there, but he won.
Yeah,
and he had the belt on. You remember that, Matt?
Dude, fuck yeah. Like,
do you know who that was? It was like one was Don Fry and one was somebody else.
Maybe Shamrock. I know he beat on
Don Severn.
That's right.
Severn. Yeah. But like the first one, no one knew what the fuck. And then the the Gracies picked Royce because a lot of people said it should have been man, I'm gonna forget his brother Hickson. But they wanted to bring out the least intimidating one to show that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu works that well, that you don't have to be. I just remember the first UFC fight ever. Sumo wrestler versus a kickboxer. And he got his teeth kicked the fuck out. And his teeth actually got embedded in the guy's foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no one knew what the fuck to do when Royce got you down. Art Jemerson wearing one boxing gloves. He had a fight coming up with Duran, I believe, in boxing. He was a really good boxer. He wore one boxing glove so he could jab without breaking his hand.
Right.
And then, obviously, he had already said if Royce gets him down, he's tapping out because he doesn't know what the fuck's happening down there, and he was risking it all even getting in there. Bizarre times. Anyway, I could talk about that shit all day.
It was amazing, dude. That I forgot what I was going to say about that sumo wrestler, dude. I remember that match like it was yesterday. I know exactly what you're talking about. That was UFC 1.
400 pounds, dude.
Yeah, great match, man. That's a classic. Oh, I'll tell you what went through my mind is I went to a Dan Severn seminar, and he was teaching techniques, and everything he showed to do was illegal. This is like he was literally just training to street fight. But going to the seminar, I expected maybe some UFC techniques, but no, it was all illegal techniques. It was hilarious. Like one thing he taught me, he said the first thing that I remember, he called it the cheese grater. He said he said you got to do it by the cage. That's what makes it the cheese grater. He says you got to get them down and grab the back of their hair, their hair and shove their face into the cage. And then you got to go north, south, east, and west with their face. And he said this is called the cheese grater.
When was this?
This was probably about 10 years ago. And so this is well after he's still retired. This is before I was in the UFC. And, he's obviously UFC like champ. So I'm going to the seminar when he's in town, and he taught how to do the cheese grater. There was another move. It was called elbow to the eyeball. And it was designed specifically to pop their eyeball out of socket. It was from side mount. And basically from side mount, you just take your elbow and you don't even raise it up to strike. You just place your elbow on their eye and then just grind it and do that. Right? He was doing that in people's eyeballs. He said
that's not illegal, right?
And no one said you guys just went along with it or what?
It's not legal now. It's totally illegal to target somebody's eye like that. And he said this is what you do when you're targeting the eye because they're going to turn their head. He said first you pin their head before you attack their eyeball. You pin their head with something like your knee or your shoulder or your chest. So when they discover their eyes being attacked, they can't turn their face. You pin their face here, so when you start poking it, they can't move. They're here. They can only go up and down, and he's telling us to pop their eyeballs like a balloon.
That's totally
You're like,
legal.
hold on, let me get my pen and paper.
I can put, and the cheese grater too. People still do the cheese grater. You can hold someone up against the fence and walk them side to side and cheese grate their back, and you can rub their face in the fucking fence. Cheese grater still. I mean,
not truly, because the first tenet of the cheese grater from the cheese grade master himself, Dan Severn, is establish hair control with a firm grip. Without the hair control, you're not going to get the full stability of that cheese grade. You can still grade partially, but it's not going to shred finely. You're going to get more chunks.
I love how it's totally illegal, but still more applicable than what Steven Seagal teaches.
That shit is funny, dude. I love Steven Seagal, man.
Hell yeah.
I get entertained by watching that stuff.
Hell yeah, it's funny. It's fucking funny.
Anderson Silva never said Steven didn't teach him that kick.
I'll be honest. I think he did teach him that kick. I think that was the one thing where like that blind squirrel found a nut. Like, seriously. I think that was the move that Steven really did show. I don't think he was bullshitting on that kick, because there was something that he did. Remember, that wasn't a popular kick when Silva did that. Like, he must have got it from somewhere. And I think
first one. Wait, did Vitor do it to someone after Silva did it to him?
Lyoto did it to Vitor after.
Yeah, Lyoto did it to Vitor.
Silva.
Oh, so it was after. It was after.
Yeah.
Anderson was the first.
The crane kick from Karate Kid, though. Oh, no, he did that to Randy Couture, too.
Yeah, Anderson went straight into the teep. And Anderson, and then Lyoto did the jumping.
It was popular. Yeah, he was the first UFC fighter doing it. And I really do think that he got it from Steven Seagal. Now, I think that 99% of the shit that comes out of Steven Seagal's mouth is an exaggeration of the truth. But I do think that 1%, that was the 1% of the time where I think he showed Silva that shit. I think he did. And, like where Steven is like kind of bullshit or totally full of shit is where he's doing these demonstrations where he's fighting 10 people at once. We all know that's a drill. That's a rehearsed drill. But I do think the guy can actually throw a front snap kick very well. I think he knows how to throw front snap kicks. I think everything else he trains is bullshit, but he's got a good front snap kick. I'll give him that.
He was good enough to be a world-class martial artist and make money in movies and become a famous face in it. Some of it must be true, just like maybe Bruce Lee, or I'll say Michael Jai White. I maybe not believed in him at one time, but even T. Woodley said, I'm out of bounds for that, and I met Michael Jai White, and I respect him as a man, and props to people who succeed in their areas. And may we all live to fight another day. That's what I like to say.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I don't like to judge a book by its cover, because often that's made me overlook some of the finest people in the world. But sometimes when you're judging a martial artist, and we're talking about three of them in particular, Steven Seagal, Michael J. White, and Bruce Lee, what do you notice? Which is the odd one that stands out? Which one's fat? Which one's really obese?
Hold on now. Hold on now. Peak male performance. I don't know, man. The body count, the body style and prep can look all over the place. I've seen some flubbery guys beating up on people.
Fedor.
I'm one of them.
For example, Fedor.
Roy Nelson, Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
Roy Nelson.
Tyson Fury.
Roy Nelson, best example.
Right. You're right.
Andy Ruiz.
You're right. We can't judge a book by its cover. But, considering that Steven Seagal doesn't have the accolades that Andy Ruiz does, we can make fun of him for being fat and not not training hard enough a little bit, But Bruce Lee and Michael J. White, you can look at them and tell they train. You can actually learn techniques from them. Like, I've done martial arts forever, but Bruce Lee could actually teach me something. Steven Seagal could too, but I think that Bruce Lee was more true. I think that Michael J. White's more true of a martial artist. I think that the Hollywood has fed into some delusions of Steven Seagal where he thinks he's living in a fucking movie and he thinks he really has these superpowers. Whereas the other actors you brought up are very sensible, very reasonable. I think that Steven Seagal really thinks he's a sensei and can kick everybody's ass. And I think that he can't.
You would have to believe it to look Anderson Silva in the face, and give him advice and then take credit after, So he's got to have something there. How do you think Bruce Lee would do in the UFC, both of you? Like, it's a hypothetical, but how would Bruce Lee do?
If he came to this farm and he trained with me for just 3 years on the ground, 4 years, I guarantee you he would be great. He just got to get his ground game right.
Oh, and he was doing some types of jiu-jitsu, right? Because he armbar someone in one of the movies he was in. He was doing Japanese jiu-jitsu, but it wasn't as known, right? Because he armbarred someone in one of the movies.
Right. So, yeah. He was ahead of the curve. Like, he would have trained jiu-jitsu, but it wasn't popular back then. He would have been, if he was alive right now, he wouldn't not be training jiu-jitsu. He'd be a black belt in that, too, because it's gotten very popular since he passed away. He'd be a black belt. He'd be able to fight if he was just training with good grapplers.
I wish I could make my son a famous movie martial artist, so he never got to do the shit for real. How do those guys do it? They just stay. What's the word? Incognito, or they, you never catch them. I don't know. Jean-Claude Van Damme used to hang out with the Diaz brothers, and he was teaching them some things.
Yeah.
They never had nothing bad to say about him, and I'm sure some of his martial arts is very real. Those guys never had to prove in the ring, but they didn't get the opportunity to prove. Maybe they felt they weren't built for that part of it. That is a special part about fighters. We get in the ring and we fucking work so hard for that moment to see if we can prove it to ourselves and everyone watching and show the skills. Mm-hmm. Those movie actors don't do that.
Yeah, that's right. That's what differentiates the fighters that you see on the TV from the people in the movies. Most of the people in the movies are paid so well, they have no desire to actually test themselves and be willing to fail and risk their health. And the fighters do that every single time they take a job. Like, that is their job, and they don't seem to care. Me and Mike are very happy to do what we do and risk our health, and thank God that he's given us the health to do what we do, because we truly do risk it all when we're out there.
Amen. And as a fan, I appreciate you guys for it.
That
kind of goes into, dude, I saw Ryan Gosling throw a football recently, and it just made me go, what the fuck? Huh?
I hear what you were saying. Let's do those fight picks you were talking about.
Yeah.
Give us the rundown on the matchups.
Okay, right before we do that, while we were talking about historical people, though, both of you can fight one historical figure. It could be Seagal. It could be Bruce Lee. It could be Abraham Lincoln. Who do you fight? You can fight Genghis Khan. You can fight one historical figure. Who do you fight?
Well, Mike Tyson had the best answer with Alexander the Great. Or I'm going to fight Goku. But or Lord Beard.
Pontius Pilate.
Pontius Pilate. Dude, that is okay.
Who is that?
That is who sold out Jesus.
That's who crucified Jesus.
Oh, I love that video.
I'm calling his ass out.
If boys had a time machine and they were doing the fake crucifixion, the guy. I love that video. It's hilarious.
That was good humor. That's something I get a laugh out of. That guy had too many drinks, and that shit was funny.
Oh, it's hilarious. That's good times, man.
Yeah, that's me. If I went back in time, that's me right there.
All right, let's do these fight picks. So what we're going to do, I'm going to read off the main card. You want to give me your prediction in whatever way, but pick winner, method, and round. So obviously not around if it's going to decision. But yeah, so we'll take a look here.
Good fights.
First fight's going to be, it's a different order, but yeah, we can just do it. No, dude, Dober's not on the main card.
Bruno Ferreira.
They haven't updated that, I don't think.
Are we starting from the bottom or starting from the top?
Starting from the
Font versus Rosas Jr. is supposed to be first fight of main card.
I'm going to have to go with Font because he's got that great jab and cross. He doesn't take a ton of risks, and he sets a great pace and maintains a great pace. I'll go Font by decision.
Ooh. Font has great experience, but lately he's been having trouble. If he can't get the boxing hands on you, Raul Rosas Jr. is very aggressive in his youthful age. He's willing to throw and bang. I don't know if he has that button, if Rob can find it, but I think Raul Rosas can get him on the ground. And he seems small, but I guess they're both small in that weight class, you know? And so this is a big test for Raul Rosas.
Yes.
So I'm gonna pick Raul. I like Rob. I know Rob. Raul Rosas is a young, angry kid. I don't know. I think he's got a lot to fight for.
He's from here in New Mexico, dude. He grew up in a little place called Bloomington. There's nothing to do out there besides get in trouble or fight.
Yeah, he brings a different style. You know, it's just a little bit crazier of a style. You know what I mean? Whereas Rob, you know, you're going to get that more foundational boxing. He's going to stay planted on his feet and kind of march forward. Rosas, you just don't know what he's going to do. He is nuts, and I love it.
I'm going to go.
Right. It's good for a young fighter like that. He's not afraid. He's willing to go out there and swing for it. I think he'll take more chances.
And now Mike's starting to change my mind because the more I think about it now, it's going to go to the ground, and you know who's going to win that on the ground is the guy who wants to go to the ground, and that's Rosas. I think Rosas has no problem going to the ground. I mean, won't even think twice about it. Might even initiate it. Whereas Font, he certainly won't initiate it. He certainly doesn't want to. And I do think Mike's right. That's the biggest advantage is Rob can maintain that pace, that crazy pace, but he does not want to go to the ground. I can't turn on Rob. I already picked him because of the fundamentals, you know.
It's a good.
So if he stays off the ground.
Rob has a good chance with his boxing.
He
is smart. He knows he'll stay out of the way of some of the takedowns. Raul Rosas will take risks. It's a good fight.
It is.
I think it comes down to, like you guys are saying, Raul has to be able to get him down, and I think he needs to do it early. Fuck, man. I want to pick Raul, but I think I'm gonna have to go Rob Font. Just he's seen it all. Raul's still so young. He's still learning his body. I'm gonna say Rob Font, but you know, you guys just won't be aired. But if Raul gets him down in the first round, change my mind. You know, I'm gonna say
it's too late. You can't change your mind after the first round.
But I'm not saying either one of them can't win. So, but I'm gonna take Rob Font as like as the safety pick.
2 against 1. That's fine. The wrestling of the former champion over the weekend, UFC Mexico, Brandon Moreno, his wrestling was not good. He could not get one takedown.
That fight shocked me, Doug.
Look at that.
Did you watch the fight, Bryce?
I didn't see that particular fight. I fell asleep. It was, but I watched the rest of the card up to that point, and then I saw about it the next day. I'm actually glad to see the division change up a little bit. And on this fight, I'm going to go with Rodriguez. Why? Because I like him, and I see him I see him backstage, and I always talk to him, and I'll go with him just off of that. And because I don't know a lot about his opponent, Ferreira, but I know that Rodriguez hits hard. He wants to stand up, and he's hard to take down.
It's a good point. Both Brazilian fighters, both probably well-rounded in power punching and grappling. Don't know a lot about his opponent, but Rodriguez has had some troublesome fights, and you know, based on the past, you can see when fighters have had hardships, you know, they get an opponent who becomes the next guy. I think Bruno Ferreira could become that next guy if he does good against Gregory Rodriguez. think.
Absolutely. I mean, you got two Brazilians here. It's going to be a great fight. And the reason I can say that confidently is because Rodriguez, he's always a force to be reckoned with. It's the posture that he takes when he fights. He stands up a little bit tall. So he's not evasive. Like he forces the fight. He stands up tall. He makes you swing. Yeah, and then he makes you miss, and then he swings. But you're going to have to swing at him. You're going to have to initiate. You're going to have to get close. You're going to have to be – it's going to be a fight. And that's what I love about Rodriguez bringing a fight. And Fierro, I already know he's going to do the same thing just because he's Brazilian. You know what I mean? Like, that's in their blood. They're not going to let – of all people, they're not going to let another Brazilian walk them down and do them like that. You see what I'm saying? Maybe if it was some other country and they didn't know what that guy was bringing, but another Brazilian, no, they're going to dogfight it out. That's what Brazilians always beat the crap out of each other.
They're kind of carbon copies of each other. Bruno being a younger version of RoboCop. I think they're going to stand and trade. They're both good on the ground, but they both knock the fuck out of each other. I think Bruno's going to see. We've seen
Bruno knows how to box, and he moves inside. Doesn't get kneed in the face.
Oh, he does. He knows how. He has 60% of his wins by KOs.
5'10" against 6'3".
He's going to look for that.
That's
I think if anyone shoots, it's going to be Bruno. Yeah. So I'm going to take Rodriguez by second round KO.
Yeah,
I think he's got the experience for it, and I think Ferreira is going to play into exactly what he wants, and then they'll cancel the route of the ground.
Where's this card at?
It's Holloway versus Oliveira. Not sure.
It's at T-Mobile, I think. Yeah,
Vegas.
It's in Vegas.
Oh, it's in Vegas.
You know, because you picked round 2. I'll pick round 3, just so I don't pick the same round. And I'll say knockout too, because they really go for. I know Rodriguez goes for the knockout. That's why I'm picking knockout on this one. Like, that's his goal, is to knock somebody out. And I think he's going to be successful. Or the other guy will. But I do think it's going to be a knockout. These dudes freaking hit hard, man.
They got a lot of power.
I'll pick round 3, Rodriguez. Yeah, that's why I love watching him. I love RoboCop, dude.
Hell yeah.
He's underrated.
Big time. What round did you say, Mike?
I didn't pick the round. I picked Bruno. I didn't pick in the round.
Okay, pick a round.
I think his height. No, because these guys can knock each other out in the first or the second. And then if they start going 3, then it's become a grappling match. I would assume.
Okay.
I think
round 2.
I think Gregory wins the grappling match.
RoboCop.
I think Rodriguez wins the grappling match. I think he's too strong on the ground.
I would agree there. Yeah. Okay, and then I didn't say which round or anything for the Rob Font. I think Rob Font TKO round 2. Okay, now let's go next fight. Are we going by the fight poster, or I guess we'll go by UFC.com? Drew Dober and Michael Johnson. That's a fucking banger. Holy fuck.
I'm gonna pick Michael Johnson.
Quicker hands, beats power.
Yes, and when he shows up at full capacity, man, at full capacity,
he can beat the best.
He's had fights. Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, on his best nights, he's really, really good. And then there's some nights where I don't think he's performed as good as he could, and I think he would agree to that. I don't think that.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he would think I'm talking bad.
About that. We had him on the podcast, and we talked about that. Yeah.
There's been nights where he's so good, like he was untouchable.
Against Poirier, he knocked out Poirier like nothing.
I know, and yeah, and that's why I say Michael Johnson is always a sleeper, and Drew Dober. Here's the thing: is he's had enough time to recover. He did have a hard last fight, a loss there, and before that hard loss, remember he had a lot of hard wins too. He just had a lot of hard fights, and then he took a little while off, and I think that I'm just picking Michael Johnson based off of some momentum.
I think
Drew
Dober. I think Drew Dober's going to have another hard fight. Johnson likes to be technical. He likes to be sharp, swift, hit you, hurt you with shit, and gain a position. you know, all the way in or all the way out. He's not trying to get into the brawl like Drew Dober is. He's trying to be more technical. And I think Drew Dober is going to get into a brawl and not have enough. I don't know. I think Drew Dober's got kind of a big head, and Michael Johnson's going to touch it. But he does have a chin, though. He's tough. Michael Johnson's kind of like felony Charles Bennett if he was more dedicated and successful. I love Charles Bennett. I think Charles Bennett's incredible. I think that guy's awesome.
Yeah, me too. I saw him knocking out.
Yeah, he just knocked the dude out in BKFC. He's like 47 years old. His first win in like 5 years. Yeah, dude.
My favorite thing is right before the fight, they're doing that one face-off, and before the fight, he's going to the camera. Yeah. That was my favorite.
Or that fight a hella long time ago where the dude has him in a triangle, I think, or something. He just stands up, spins him around, throws him against the cage, beats the fuck out. Yeah, dude.
That was cool.
Okay, I'm going to take Michael Johnson. I think Drew Dober, he's got a chin of granite, but he's been through some fucking wars. Like Michael Johnson went through a war with Gaethje.
We all went against
I think Johnson's hands are just too tight and too fast, man. And if he's having his night, because it's hard, he's hard to bet on sometimes. Like you said, Bryce, he either shows up or he doesn't. When he shows up, he's a world beater. But I think his hands are too crisp, too clean, too quick. I think he's going to chin Drew Dober.
It's all about the matchup with Michael Johnson, you know, because if he gets going on somebody, boy, it's hard to stop him. You know what I mean? Once he starts landing, he gets his rhythm. What Drew Dober brings is that relentlessness, man. And, you know, his last fight, he did get stopped. And I think that he'll be a little bit more patient this fight. But I don't know. I don't even know if I could pick knockout or finish. I'll just say I'll go with finish in the second. I'm just picking a number there.
I'll go round 3 then, because like you said, I think he's going to be a little bit more. You know, I need this win. I need to not go out there and be reckless. I think they'll draw that out of each other. I'll say round 3 TKO for Michael Johnson.
If Dober's durable,
dude, how can you?
He might be able to win the decision. If he's durable, he might be able to win the decision.
I think he's actually more durable. I think that Drew Dober, through his career, has showed durability that is of the highest caliber because he obviously takes care of his body.
In this fight.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like you might not be able to put a Drew Dober down, bro. He's in phenomenal shape. He won't fucking quit. And you're really going to have to land perfect to sleep him. It's going to be very hard. I think decision, I guess. Or no, I already picked. I'm sorry.
you can switch. No, I mean,
I'm keeping the original pick.
Okay. What about you, Mike? You going decision for who?
Johnson.
Okay.
Johnson.
Yeah.
All right, let's go next one.
I still love Dober though.
Yeah, that's going to be a banger no matter what.
Yeah, I want to see the fight more than anything. I just want the fight to happen.
Yeah, just have fun out there, boys.
This is an interesting one.
Okay, now Kyle
Barao.
I don't know.
Versus Rainer DeRitter. We saw Rainer DeRitter finally struggle there. And it looks like he's had a couple more losses. I don't know. I thought he was undefeated when he came over to the UFC.
No, he'd lost in one before.
He had lost back in the day.
He only lost in one.
But he recently had a loss. So now he's coming back, got something to prove. Kyle Barao has, he's an aggressive fighter. He's recently coming off a loss as well.
And I can't remember who he just fought and beat him, but I think it was striking. I think that Kyle is a ground guy, and I do think he's going to get this guy to the ground.
It was Imavov, the striker.
So it's not like it's not like a bum is beating him. Imavov ain't no joke, and has great takedown defense, and I think that I'm gonna go with, even though he's coming off of a loss, I'm gonna go with Kyle on this one because of that ground game, and I really haven't I haven't watched a ton of either of these guys fight, but I'm picking the guy because of the ground game.
DeRitter's an awkward
got
fighter,
a sneaky ground game,
and his grappling is a different type of grappling than Kyle's. Kyle's Brazilian style
he's actually like primarily a grappler,
but I think Rainer might have some tricks on his back if Kyle gets top position. Some weird stuff. So I think it's interesting. But I don't know, man. I think Kyle wants it more. I think he's younger. I think after his loss, he was so emotionally affected. He's probably training like a madman. I think Rainer de Ridder's super chill. And I don't know if that'll work out for him in this fight. I think Kyle's going to go for the kill.
That's what I think, too. I think he can close that distance and just make it like a ugly, dirty ground fight. And, you know, you speak of de Ridder being tricky. I think that he could. I think he's really tricky in, like, close quarters with that clinch type, like, elbows, knees, stuff like that. I think like he could actually sleep Kyle with some type of tricky knee, some type of tricky elbow, or tricky uppercut, something he doesn't quite see coming. And like you said, I think that Kyle on the ground has the advantage and actually the will to go to the ground and win. Because sometimes when you're on the ground and you're getting beat on the ground, in training or a real fight, whatever, like the thought of your mind the thought goes through your mind, I'm just going to survive the rest of this round. I'm not going to try to get up. You know, like you get so tired, you're like, hey, I don't want to try to get up. If Kyle
saw that's kind of what RDR did in his fight against Brendan Allen. He kind of just, you know, and he said he didn't feel good. There was, I forget what he said, but yeah, he did not look like himself, and he was getting worked on the ground and just looked like kind of gave up.
And Allen beat de Ridder like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that Kyle, being that he is a even more of a ground guy than Allen is I think that he's going to do that and like bring that will, that unstoppable will, and get on top of de Ridder. And de Ridder's just going to be more nonchalant, thinking, hey, I'm just going to survive the round type of thing. But that shit will just lose you a decision every time, you know?
It's weird how we could guess all day, but some of these fighters can show up all night.
We don't know a damn thing, dude. We don't know shit, dude.
That's the beauty of the sport, though, man.
It's the only sport out there that you can, man. We got some tricks.
You can dominate for 14 minutes and 50 seconds and get knocked the fuck out in the last one. Hail Mary beats the rest of the quarters, bro.
Triangle choke. Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen.
Triangle choke.
24 minutes.
Yeah. Derek Lewis versus Volkov, bro. Like, all it takes is one shot. Now, I think going into what you guys are saying, I kind of wanted to pick RDR, but I might have to lean Cal based off de Ridder's last performance. So I'll go Cal by decision.
Once you show that you got that quit in you, hungry young lion might come. No matter what you got to throw at him, he wants to find that quit in you.
Yeah, he's going to try to take him down for sure. If that's what it's like.
Yeah. Main event, boy. This is a good one, but this is a good one.
This is a banger. What, like anything 14 years, 10 years after?
I'll tell you why I'm going to pick Oliveira is because I think that last fight particularly pissed him off. I think that he really does not want to lose this one, and I think Max Holloway is coming off of a huge win. Did he just beat Gaethje?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that Charles is a different level of pissed off because everybody called him a quitter from the first fight.
Oh wait, he also beat Poirier.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
That one got forgotten about. He beat Gaethje then Poirier, so he got it back versus Poirier. Poirier beat the crap out of him the first time.
Oh, that's right. He just beat Poirier. That's right. And Max is looking phenomenal, man. He's looking great. The reason I'm picking Oliveira is just because I think that he is so determined to win based off of everybody calling him a quitter. A guy like Oliveira, I think, will come back harder after a loss or any type of shit talk. And I'm not saying Max shit talk, but all the fans. Remember the first time that he fought?
Oh, yeah, because he fucked his shoulder up.
You're a coward. You're a quitter.
That's literally what started the whole fucking perception of Charles being a quitter.
That's right.
And they repeated that up until he beat Poirier, I think.
He had a nerve failure. Like, bro, his nerves locked up. He couldn't walk. He was paralyzed. He couldn't move. He couldn't, and then he had to quit the fight. He was like
off a weird takedown.
Yeah, he was laying on his back doing this, saying, "I can't move. My body is numb." And like everybody saw that and said, "Oh, you're weak." And so, based off of that fact, that being their first fight, I think he's mad to a level that Max Holloway can't get. I think that he is that level of deeply pissed off and has probably wanted this rematch for 10 years. I know I would be, because my back locks up, and if I went in there in one of the biggest fights of my life and my back locked up, I'd be so mad at myself and everybody in the world that I'd want to win that fight, the rematch, more than any other fight, just to prove that my back really did lock up and I'm not a coward.
I like both these fighters. Max Holloway's a great inspiration. You know, the guy from Hawaii's had incredible moments, knockouts, come back from so much. And then Oliveira, I mean, he's just an aura about him, this Brazilian style, and his jiu-jitsu is obviously like some of the best in history. So yeah, like up there. He's scary. He grabs a backpack.
Most submissions ever.
It all depends on if Max can stuff any grabs and continue his boxing, and he looks sharp at 155. When he goes down to 145, I don't like how it sucks him out. And then at 55 against Gaethje, he looked incredible. And then, you know, Poirier's a top name. It's a tough fight for Oliveira. But he has the skills if he can get that grappling, that backpack going. I'm not picking on this one. I like them both. I like Holloway. I hate it. I'm going to go Oliveira, though, because he's kind of a home team. He's kind of a home team guy, man. He's been in the gym before. I never really got to meet him, but maybe I will. So, you know, I'm going to go Oliveira. Hope he gets backpacked and fucking attacks Max the way he should with his BJJ.
Yeah, I think you're right. He has a lot of weapons, primarily the BJJ, taking him to the ground. Max has no desire to do that. Another thing Charles Oliveira has is really good knees and a really good Muay Thai clinch and good elbows. He's really good at throwing elbows. And Max is too, but I'm just telling you, Charles lands more knees and elbows on average. He really, when he gets close, he goes to elbow and knee mode. Whereas Max, you know, he stays 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't think Charles should box with him, though. I don't think he should box with him.
Well, no, he should kick a knee and elbow.
He might box with him a little bit. I don't think he should.
Well, I mean, if you look at his training, he's even training like the whole point down, and they're training in his gym, you know, just swinging for 10 seconds at the end of the round. Did you see that? Yeah. I think what you guys are saying might actually be what gets Charles in trouble. I feel like Charles is out to prove a point, like you're getting at.
Yeah, I think his last fight against Topuria, I think that got him in trouble. I think he was starting out really good, but kind of went in there a little bit too fast. And Topuria has that firepower, man. And if anything, like that last fight with Charles versus Topuria, if you remember, Charles landed the first big shot. He landed an elbow, like we were talking about. He has phenomenal elbows, but then what's he do? He marches forward to throw another one.
Well, and he beat fucking Fiziev.
Yeah, exactly.
Devastating striker. He's coming off that one. I didn't even think he'd get past Fiziev. Yeah. I thought Fiziev would be able to chin him. So I mean, he's back on his shit. Oh yeah. My thing, I don't know. Holloway just looks like he's in his prime, and I think Charles Oliveira. Here's a hot take. I think Charles Oliveira is the most dangerous person in the UFC, like as a whole. He's dangerous as fuck striking. He has the most weapons. He's a Swiss Army knife. I mean, even though he has the most submissions in UFC history, he knocks motherfuckers out. Look how he knocked down Michael Chandler. He knocks down everybody. I think this is an incredibly dangerous fight, but I think Max Holloway is going to use that range. And I don't think he's going to get taken down. Maybe if he does, I think Max Holloway is going to get him, to be honest.
Very well could, and it's going to be with 1-2s if he does. You know, that 1-2, and he'll move around laterally, and Charles will try to chase him and cut him off, but he never will be able to. And if Max wins, that's probably what it looks like. Charles kind of marching him down, but just getting peppered. And then one of those shots will just drop him. You know, it'll be 100 shots, and then one of them that barely hits him will drop him. You know, if Max wins, that's typically how it goes.
And he's not going to jump into his guard and like do anything stupid. Max is going to lit him up.
Yeah.
Max is
He's going to do what he did to Ortega. He's going to, if he wins, he's going to batter you. It's going to be merciless. I mean, it's ugly when Max Holloway wins because he doesn't typically have those big knockout shots. He typically batters them to the point where they just can't see, they can't walk, they can't stand. He just fucking kills them.
And even when Poirier was doing it to him, he was still out there doing it. But then he's made a full transition to 155 now, like grown into his power. He's still only like 34. I mean, he's still so young for how many miles he has, but
yeah, he's better at 55 for sure.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I
Better
love it, man. I love the
for sure.
conversation, and we got down and dirty on a lot of subjects today. There's our Overdogs UFC 326
Wait, Max
picks
Holloway
with
by
UFC
round four.
fighter Bryce Mitchell. Mac Malley picking the rounds and shit today. We're adding that one in there. It's hard enough to pick a winner with these matchups. Matchmakers are doing their due diligence. Bryce, man, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today and giving us your time. Very appreciative of speaking with you again as well. And, solid things moving forward and blessings to your fam. Hope you're well, bro.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'll be seeing you at your show. I believe it's April 10th or 11th. My cousin AJ Cunningham's fighting for you, so I'll see you there. Maybe I'll get to meet you as well, Mac, if you're there. You said you're in Arizona, Mac.
New Mexico.
Okay. So
Yeah.
eventually we'll get to see. We've talked a couple
I'll see you, bro.
Yeah, we're friends. We've talked a couple times now.
Do you remember the last time you were on here and you made fun of me for drinking Bud Light?
Yeah.
That shit was so funny, dog. I didn't even realize I bought Bud Light again.
That's all right, man. Everything's getting gate out now, so it's hell, everything's gate out. You can't not get something that's gate now. But,
Yeah, bro.
Thank y'all too, and God bless y'all. And it was great catching up. I hope y'all have a great rest of your days. God
You're the
bless.
man, Bryce. God
You
be
too,
with you.
brother.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Stay strong, Bryce. See you around.
Yes, sir, and thank you so much. Bye bye.
Yes, sir. I had windows in my house that had an argon gas leak, and they were very foggy, and I got them replaced by factory warranty for free. So things you don't know if you need to know. If you got foggy glass doors in your house, it could be an argon gas leak. Check the factory warranty when your place was built. Mine's brand new. We were jumping. We were excited to get on topics today. Bryce can definitely bring that out of you. He has a lot to say, and we try to roll a positive message here at Overdogs Podcast. Positive like in your bank accounts, like if you went to overdogs.bet and placed some bets on your favorite UFC picks. Maybe we gave you some ideas on the top on UFC 326 and things like that. So looking forward to more fights soon. Always great talking with Mac and our guests, top level fighters, and we're always training for more, man. Stay strong out there, fans, and let us know what you thought about today in the comments, man. See you guys.